Okay, part two of fighting custody for my biological child with people that we are not even kin to, no blood relation whatsoever. So as I was saying, not once have I ever said that these people did not help me raise my son, or take care of my son, physically take care of my son, because I was taking care of him financially. Physically take care of my son for a few years while I was going through some rough times. But they had a different motive to why they did so. Okay, and to go to the court and completely commit perjury in a whole statement is diabolical to me. Okay, so you say that I did not take care of my son financially, I did not take care of him, or I abandoned him, which is crazy to me, because when did that happen? Not to mention the fact you got every dime when he was put on taxes. You got that money even before I let you start claiming him, because eventually I did let her start claiming him on her taxes because she kept asking me to. Not an issue, okay? But before then, I was giving you whatever came back. You got that, okay? You got that money. When I was getting stamps, which has been years ago, you were getting at least $250 to $300 every single month, and my baby wasn't even eating solid food check. Every child support check that came in when he wasn't in my care, because not only did you lie and say that my son don't know me, everybody knows my kids know me. Not only did you lie and say that, you also said that I did not take care of him medically. When I did the application for Medicaid, it was based off my income, not yours. But yet you used it. Okay. Any surgery he's ever had, I've been there. I was actually the only one there. His first few surgeries, he had his adenoids removed. He ended up having a hairline fracture in his foot. He got that from a daycare, and I had to go take him to get his cast on. When he first got diagnosed with astigmatism in his eye, like his dad, I was the one to take him to get his first pair of glasses. So again, you continue to lie and say these things because you want control, and you can't control me. And once I said, okay, enough is enough, I'm not going to keep giving you everything that I have. I don't mind taking care of my son, but I'm giving you extra. Not only am I sending clothes, I'm sending shoes. I'm, just sending random packages. I have been the only one that has ever paid for all of his birthday things, his cakes, his balloons, his gifts. You all have not ever had one party for my child. Not one. Okay. Not only did you do that, you went to the court and said, well, he was left alone. He called you, was scared, and this was in your own words, in your affidavit, but yet you failed to call the police, call DSS, and come check on him. Now, these are all in your words. I literally have the documentation. All in your words that you said. But yet you care about my son so much, and you fear him being in my care. But you said he called you and said he was alone. But yet you didn't come check on him because you feared that I would keep him from you. Is it me, or am I a little slow, or what type of parent? Because if my child called me, and I don't care nothing about what no judge say, I don't care about none of that. If my child called me today and tell me something wrong, man, you can have a restraining order on me. I'm coming to see about mine. I don't care about none of that. But you literally told the court in your own words that you did not call anyone. You didn't come to check on him. You didn't call the police. You didn't do any of that. But you care about my child so much. But no, you don't care about my child. You care about the money, because when I told you that this was it for me, that my son is coming home, that I've been patient enough, and only reason I hadn't, I have the text messages, only reason I hadn't came and got my son from there is because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I was trying to do it in a respectful way. Because when I was down, he was staying in your home, even though I was paying for everything. You got upset because you knew that you would no longer get his Social Security check, which I've sent you. You would no longer get the extra money that I had been sending your husband in the Cash App. That other people have came to bring you cash for me, as well as groceries, as well as anything extra that I have ever done for y'all. I have literally sent you all on spa dates for Mother's Day and Father's Day. I have given you all gifts for Mother's Day, Father's Day, cash, money, multiple things. You barely have to buy anything for my child, because again, I have receipts. I bought all of his things because you all continue to dress him like he's a 35-year-old man going to church every day. But you don't even realize that my son get picked on at school, because he told my other son. He didn't even tell me. He told my oldest son, because of how you all dress him, even though I buy him clothes that the younger kids wear. But you went to the court and said the clothes and shoes that I have purchased, even though you said I hadn't done anything. But then you turned around and said, oh, well, the clothes and shoes she has purchased was insufficient. They were too small. If I'm taking my child to get his shoes tried on and try on his clothes, how are they too small? And even when he is with you, if I'm texting you and still have those texts that you're giving me the sizes, again, how are they too small? So yet there's another lie. So you literally had to tell all of these lies in order to get me into court. But not once did you call the police, did you call DSS to say I abandoned my child. You went straight to a lawyer. Then you have the nerve to tell the judge that I need to pay your lawyer fees. If you couldn't afford a lawyer, what the heck would you take me to court for? That doesn't even make any sense. You'd have been better off calling DSS and DSS representing you for free if I had really abandoned my child. But you know that's not true. You know that's not true. But yet you're the same couple that kept trying to get me to let you adopt my son, because you know he gets a check from his deceased father. Same as my daughter do. You know that if I brought him back home, that you would no longer get the tax credit. You would no longer be getting them $3,000 and $4,000 back a year that you were getting before with him. You know you wouldn't be getting this check every month. Any extra things that I have been doing, that would all stop, because he would be home. So that's why you didn't call the police. That's why you didn't call DSS. Because you knew that they would investigate and find that you're lying, which again is still going to come out anyway, because I have receipts for everything. And to literally say that my son doesn't know me, but yet when he sees me, he runs right to me. What? What, lady? So, like, that's so diabolical to me. So, since you say you paying for medical, which again you didn't, the government was, because of Medicaid, I have withdrawn that application. So now you're going to have to pay for that medical. You're going to have to pay for that. You want this little $900 check a month, every month. Like, it wasn't even that serious, because again, I was sending it to you. That's crazy to me. Crazy, absolutely absurd. But yet the same couple that said, oh, well, our family members that adopted your daughter, which I signed the paper for, again, wasn't willingly, but I signed the paper because same as before, I needed help. The dad wasn't helping me. I felt obligated. It is what it is. The same couple that said, oh, well, if you let us adopt your baby, we wouldn't do that to you. What? You all supposed to be Christian folks. Which again, I don't halfway believe nothing Christian folks say, because they're the most hypocritical people I have ever met in my fucking life. And do the most dirt. I would trust a crackhead in most cases before I trust a Christian person. Like, it's like they live to tell lies. And that shit is crazy to me. Like, real bad crazy to me. But again, instead of you, like I said, getting DSS involved, calling the police, oh, she abandoned him, she's not doing this and that, you literally ran to a lawyer, want me to pay your lawyer fees. I don't know who y'all think I am, like I'm balling like that. No, you're gonna pay your own lawyer fees, because you the one chose to do this, because you were scared that money was gonna leave your home. Because what else are you doing besides that? I have to register him to school. I have to do all paperwork. You can't do any of that. I have to do all that. You even told the court that my baby was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You loved him so much and you don't took care of him his whole life, but you don't know where he was born at. My baby was born in Greenville, South Carolina. The delivery doctor was Mrs. Hudson by cesarean. But oh no, y'all had him for his whole 9 years of his life though. Okay. Yeah. Now make that make sense. Make that, I mean, I need someone to make that make sense for me. Because it ain't making sense to me. But again, you also were the same lady to cry on my phone about your grandbaby, because the mother of your grandbaby that had it by your son Christian of Spartanburg, South Carolina, took your grandbaby away. You're crying because you can't see your grandbaby, and said that you didn't have a lawyer, you couldn't afford a lawyer in order, you know, to try to fight for visitation or whatever, for your own blood. But yet you went and got a lawyer to try to take my flesh and blood from me, and he's not even any kin to you. Not a drop of blood in him is of you. But you wouldn't go fight for your own flesh and blood. Yeah, now I call that love, and I call that Christian life. Real Christian life. Sarcasm, but yeah. That's too funny. But again, this is current, in like literally in current time, currently going on. Even though I'm not worried about it, I'm not stressed about it, because I know their lies will be exposed, because I just have too much documentation. I literally have firsthand eyewitnesses accounts on every single situation. Not to mention the fact you literally only had 4 affidavits, and one is of you and your husband, who again are known liars, because I can prove you're known liars. Not only did you just continue to tell the most outrageous lies I have ever like heard of, the lawyer that you have not once chose to ask you, well, why would you wait 9 years to do this? If I had abandoned him and I was doing just the bare minimum for all his entire life, and you don't have him for his entire life, why would you just do the bare minimum? Like, yeah, because you don't care. You only care because I let you know that this was going to be it for you, and I was bringing my son home full time because enough was enough. And you were not going to have that income in your household anymore. That's literally all that was. It's literally about money. Because if it wasn't about money, why are you asking me to pay all of your legal fees? Why are why in most of your documentation you just keep mentioning his check? You're that obsessed? Are you that pressed? You can't be. Your husband's supposed to be disabled. Don't have a job. So, I mean, he need to get out and drive around for DoorDash or something. Because make sense. When it doesn't at all. But even though my family members multiple times, told me not to trust these people. And again, when you need help, you need help. So you just sometimes trust the wrong people. But like I said, I am so glad that I did keep a lot of the stuff that I have, my receipts, my documentation. I'm on the way now to go and pick up some like hospital records or whatever for my son. So it's just a lot going on. But like I said, at the same time, I don't stress about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't stressing me as bad as it should, due to the fact that, once I do, retain my lawyer, whatever, which I go Tuesday, some of this stuff will be resolved, because she will be able to argue some of the points of, of the receipts and everything that I have. And I won't have to, like, I won't have to stress about all of that. I just have to give her what I have, and, then she could continue to investigate or do whatever. But they did assign us a guardian ad litem, which I asked the court to do, because it needs to be investigated, due to the fact that, like I said, all they literally have to do is go and talk to my son. Because she's asking the court, oh, well, no one needs to talk to the young child about it. Why? Because if they can drag a 3 and 4-year-old in this courtroom, they're going to bring my 9 and 10-year-old in this courtroom, and it's going to be in these court documents. He's going to be in here. So how long do you think you can lie, or try to brainwash him to believing something that he already knows is going on? Because I had already told him I don't hide nothing from my kids. He's old enough to understand. But if you're willing to lie and do things like this for money, what else are you willing to do? What else have you done? And if you're literally telling lies like that as if you believe them, knowing I even had to tell your lawyer about all of the SSI checks that you keep bringing up, I've sent to you. You never once told them when you first filed the motion. I had to bring it to their attention. So does that not prove my point? You lied and said I wasn't doing anything for him. Then when I brought it up, in a response to let you know you're not telling the truth, then you put it in your next response. But does that not prove my point? That you literally already lied from the get-go. You lied from the get-go. You lied from the get-go. And that alone to me should say something about your character, because you had to tell these lies in order to even get this far. Because you simply could have contacted DSS. You simply could have contacted the police. You did none of the sort. You did none of the sort. So yeah. Again, it'll most likely be plenty more parts to this, but stay tuned, because I will tell it all. It don't matter. Like I told the judge a few weeks ago, if I got to take the whole family down and be the captain of the ship, we'll all go. Because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to get in here and lie for you all. That's what I'm not going to do. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's probably going to ruin some marriages, because me and her husband have had a many private conversations about his wife behind her back that she doesn't know about. She just found out that her own husband was buying pills behind her back with me, from me actually, because they were prescribed to me. Yeah, she didn't know that either. Yeah, I told that. That was a jaw dropper. I bet somebody was sleeping on the couch about a few days after that. Yeah. So be careful of the lies you tell, because again, I'm not the type of person. I'm gonna tell it. Don't matter if I have to go down with the ship. If I do not have to go down with the ship, if I, whatever consequences I have to endure, but I will tell the truth at every turn. I'm not gonna go in here and lie to make myself look like nothing. Like I said, yes, they helped me, but they had a different agenda, and that agenda will be exposed, because I am not giving up my son because you all want to check. That's what I'm not gonna do. That's absolutely ridiculous to me, because I never even wanted to get the check started. Let's talk about that. I never even wanted to get the check started. You wanted to get the check. You pressed me about that check. I can turn this off if I need to. Tell him that seat out from over there, Jerry. Go to the other side. I got water on it. Oh shit! I forgot it was right there. My bad. Just throw it over. Oh, God. I was trying to grab it. You got in the room.
So where the Yukon?
In the yard. They ain't got no Yukon gas money. What you mean? Time's hard out here. I got 2 other cars. Get him whatever I can afford and put some gas in. That's it. That's all.
Sell me one of them.
Shit. That Yukon ain't paid off. And that black Jeep that my Jeep Liberty that I was letting DJ drive, I got to get a motor in it. It's sitting at the mechanic shop, and DJ is in his own. I had bought that Patriot for DJ, so I only got this one paid off. I got the Jeep Liberty paid off, and then his Patriot is paid off. But that Yukon, I'm still paying payments on it. But I drive this one like back and forth to work more than I do anything else. But yeah, if I get that motor in the other one, I can sell it. He just got to rebuild that motor. I'm waiting on him. What we going to? I don't even know.
Bay?
I mean, which one? Oh yeah, but good, because I got to get them papers. Well, I'm going the wrong way. Where I'm going, Duncan?
Yeah, you could have went down there.
come this way often?
Yeah.
Huh?
What that?
Oh.
Nothing.
All right, y'all. I guess I will get back with y'all. I'll talk to y'all. I got these old people in the car. I gotta go run some errands. I'll get back with y'all. All right, bye.